Hello and welcome to another fun-filled edition of Adam's Music Box. Now, today I want to talk about one of my very favorite bands, and they weren't a band that were around for a particularly long time, nor did they release a whole lot of albums, but in the albums they did, they really left their mark as a band that combined sort of real, sort of stripped down, authentic, earthy hard rock and blues. They were a quintessentially great blues rock band and had someone who I think is one of the great female vocalists, one of the great lead vocalists of all time, in the form of Maggie Bell, who's still very much going strong, albeit Stone the Crows ended in 1973. You could kind of call them a supergroup because their bass player also happened to be one of the great vocalists of all time, James Dewar. Now, where might you know that name from? Well, he was the lead singer in the Robin Trower Band, even though he played bass and did some backing vocals in Stone the Crows. Now, their first two albums are generally considered their best. In 1970, they had their self-titled, followed by one of, I think, probably their best, which was released later in the year, Ode to John Law. Really great traditional blues rock album. And all of the musicians in the band were great. John McGuinness was on keyboards, Colin Allen was on drums, and then Les Harvey on guitar, who had a tragic death in the early 1970s on stage. And this was because a microphone stand that wasn't earthed correctly, it became a conductor of electricity, and with his guitar in one hand and his other on the mic stand, he electrocuted himself to death on stage, which was, I mean, if you've got to go. But that didn't spell the immediate end of the band, but it was the end of the original lineup. But luckily for you, there was actually some great video footage of the classic lineup from Beat Club. Now, Beat Club, as I've said before, and I've done some videos on this, it was a great television show produced by Radio Bremen in East Germany. And unlike a lot of shows before that, and even some at the time, they meticulously maintained all of their videotape archives, where a lot of places at that time were just erasing the videotape after something was broadcast once or twice in order to save some dough. But they kept all of their archives, and now all of it, everything Beat Club ever did, is now on their YouTube channel. So go to their YouTube channel for Beat Club, type in Stone the Crows, and watch them. You'll be shocked that they weren't more well known, and particularly more well known internationally. A really great band. As always, like, subscribe, and we will see you next time. Take care.